Kandi Machaka, working for the Department of Water and Sanitation, responsible for water quality management. The department is part of this BCC project because it will bring in interventions that will assist the department in protecting this water resource. Water resources in South Africa are managed and regulated by the National Water Act. So the Act puts the mandate on the minister to, as soon as possible, establish what we call national monitoring systems. So the purpose of these systems is to facilitate the continued and coordinated monitoring of water resources in South Africa. So we do have a detailed and comprehensive monitoring program for this Swartkops, which we ensure implementation, and we come out on a monthly basis to take water quality samples, which we send to the lab for analysis. And once we receive the results back, we then capture them on the water management system, which is a computerized system. So this system provides us with the trends report to see if the Swartkops is improving or deteriorating. As a department, we have what we call the resource-directed measures, which are measures that are made to safeguard our water resources. So this includes determining the classification of water resources, and then determining the resource quality objectives for our water resources, and also ensure that we do have ecological reserve. So again, the National Water Act lays down a series of measures that one can take to ensure protection of our water resources. So in terms of Section 19, we do have prevention of pollution, wherein the Act puts an onus on the polluter to take mitigation measures or remedy to remedy the impact of the pollution that they might have caused. So if they fail to take those actions, then the department or the responsible authority can take those actions and then claim all the costs incurred from the polluter. And then we also authorize these discharges. So for an example, if one wants to discharge treated effluent into the water course, we then issue them with an authorization, and this authorization will have specific limits that they need to comply to in order to safeguard the quality of our water resources. Say for an example, you want to discharge a water with an E. coli in it, so we'll put a limit to say, okay, for E. coli, that if you want to discharge E. coli, your water should not exceed 100 E. coli per count in your wastewater.
I believe the socio-economic value of this estuary cannot be really measured. For instance, the aesthetic and also the recreational value of the Swartkop estuary, you can't put a price to that. And as for the many microorganisms, the many mammals that use and bird species that use the estuary as a breeding ground, and also the contribution that has to the inshore fisheries. So it will be very hard to say what is the value of the estuary, but it is tremendous. And it is important for us as a department, as also for the people of Gqeberha, to protect this natural resource.
How does the BCC plan to maintain the estuarine waters, if I may say, of the Swartkops river ecosystem? What I can say is that the monitoring program that has been put in place by the Department of Fisheries, Forestry and the Environment is contributing to what we call now Operation Phakisa, which contributes directly to ocean's economy. So the monitoring program is part of that ocean's economy to ensure sustainable development on water water resources and all the biota that is found inside the ecosystem. So that the BCC is just here to empower the projects that are already in place, and then after the BCC has come into the end of term, it will ensure that the monitors that they are living in on site, that they are well equipped to carry on the monitoring activities in terms of skills development, in terms of also the resources that they will need on a day-to-day basis when carrying out their monitoring work.
The challenges that we have in the Swartkops River is the pollution mostly. We're struggling because it's affecting our environment and the state of the community as a whole. I would say that it's damaging to the life that is in the river and also the children that play around the pollution. So that are the challenges that we face in the river. Yeah. The benefits that we no longer get in the estuary is, first of all, we cannot have activities like swimming because the water is polluted. We do not get fresh water, and the life in the river is also suffering because the waste in the water is making them suffocate. Ezinye izinto ke ndingatsho into yokubana now that sifacene ne-pollution eninzi kwi-river, zininzi izinto ngoku esingakwazi uzenza ngaseriveni, because dala kwakukhona ezi-spiritual rituals ezizenziwayo, sasifumana nee-herbs, zazininzi izinto ezenziwayo, but ngoku asikwazi uyenza loo nto leyo because yonke into ayihlangani. The Swartkop River, now that it's polluted, it does not contribute much because we cannot have any activities where there is pollution at, because it's endangering our lives and our health. Yeah, so I wouldn't say it contributes much.
In 1968 or thereabouts, the Uitenhage water supply ran out from the springs, so they built a dam called the Grindal Dam. That was the first problem that the Swartkop River encountered. All the floodwaters that used to come down before the dam was built, they used to come down and wash out the river and the estuary. Doesn't happen anymore. And then the second thing that's happened more recently is that the global warming has basically halved our rainfall. We don't get any rain here. So this is putting a big strain on the river, which used to be cleaned out and washed out. It doesn't happen any longer. On top of that, above Uitenhage, there are vegetable farmers, and they extract whatever fresh water comes down the Swartkop River. They extract a lot of it. And you must understand, in the drought condition, most of the water is now not passing Uitenhage, where we have two big sewage works, and those sewage works are being degraded, slowly degrading because of absorbent hygiene products. People don't realize the amount of damage they do when they put it down the toilet, because then they go down the sewage lines and somewhere along the road it blocks and overflows, comes into the Swartkop River, and you have major pollution like we see at the moment. If it doesn't block the sewage line, it goes into the sewage treatment works, and they struggle to remove or chop up these absorbent hygiene products. And a lot of the breakdowns are caused because they're trying to get all the rags and tampons and whatever out of the whole system, and it causes big problems. The Kwanabutle was down for about a year, so all the sewage from the Kwanabutle sewage works was diverted to Kelvin Jones, and poor old Kelvin Jones sewage works did not have enough capacity. So a lot of the times partly treated sewage was released into the river. So right now I estimate the flow down here is probably 80% sewage and 20% water leaks.
So one of the negative challenges or enablers that we have is that as government departments, we work in silos. So we do have the Department of Water and Sanitation that is also responsible for management of this catchment, and then you'll find that there is a municipality that is also responsible for this. You've got the Department of Environmental Affairs that is also responsible for this. So we don't have that coordinated approach in managing our water resources. So this project has identified that as a gap that we need to work to work together in an integrated and a holistic approach to manage our water resources. Because if you're going to work alone or in silos, you're not going to manage, you're not going to win. So now we're taking an approach of working together, and also, as you can see, that we do have members of community. So we're working together with the community as well, because they are the user on the ground. So we involve everyone in this catchment management, because we have seen that our current management systems are not working. So now we're implementing an approach whereby we will also be implementing the principle of what we call integrated water resource management. So by so doing, we involve everyone that is using the system in managing the catchment. And another issue that we found is that If there is a pollution, if there is a spillage, a regulator takes time to respond to those pollutions. So a pollution can happen for maybe a month or ongoing without being attended to. So now we are saying that these bureaucratic issues that we are experiencing with our finances and with our supply chain processes, they need to be, the processes need to be shortened.
I believe at the end of this Swartkop demonstration project, the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment would like to see that the communities around Port Elizabeth take up this project, make it part of their own and become the custodians of the work we have started. It's with little things like little innovative projects like the creation of floating islands, the installation of sustainable urban drainage system that we can make little improvements to the system, which in future will have a bigger yield in the quality or in the improvement of the quality of this water system.
There's no rainwater. There's no rain. The Groendal Dam has basically been closed, so there's no water release, so it's a serious issue. Now when the sewage slowly flows down to the estuary, which is 14 kilometers up from the sea, it gets in there and the algae in the salt water has a lovely time and it proliferates to the point where you have what they term is a harmful algal bloom. And when that happens, 10, 12, 14 kilometers of river down there or estuary down there basically dies. The fish die or they run away, the crabs suffer, the prawns suffer, and it takes weeks or months for them to recover again. We also have issues with the Motherwell and the Markman Canal. Same thing. Let me call them rags. The rags block the sewage lines, goes into the Motherwell Canal or the Markman Canal. And when those two are pumping sewage into the river, plus sewage coming up down from Uitenhage, then you really are in trouble. The entire river almost is polluted. And then in the last couple of years, we've been approached by BCC. They've offered their help to try and clean up the Swartkop River. That's the good news. So one of the projects is putting in little floating wetlands with rushes in it, which chew up the nutrients from the sewage works. There are other projects that are being planned. A lot of the big stormwater canals, which often flow sewage, we want to put in gravel structures with enzymes in it to also eat the poo. That will help. But one of our main tasks is we must engage with the Metro to try and improve the maintenance of the various sewage works around here. Our big drive is to change people's habits. And that's why the Swartkop Conservancy, just for one, other people are doing it as well. We're taking one school a week, 50, 60 people, and we're advising the little girls, grade 6s, to change their habits. Do not put it down the toilet. Put it in the bucket, put it in the bin.
So this project has identified gaps that exist within our current catchment management practices. One is the current monitoring program that we have. So through this project, we have identified that the grab sampling that we currently use, for monitoring of our water resources is not effective as it should be. For example, if there is a spillage that is happening today here, and then I come here after 30 days to do the grab sampling, I won't capture that pollution. So with this project, they're now introducing what we call real-time data monitoring, so that we're going to install and station the probes inside our water resource. So the probes will read the water quality per minute. So we're going to have real-time data to say, okay, in this catchment, the E. coli level is at this point at this time. So it also assists users to say, okay, guys, there is a pollution coming down from the catchment. So let us take proactive measures to ensure that it doesn't affect our businesses. For an example, we've got oyster farms in the bay that are affected by pollution that comes from the freshwater side, which is from the Swartkop River, that affects those guys. So if there's a pollution coming in from this, so that system is going to act as an early warning system to inform those guys, to say, guys, there is a pollution that is coming in from from the freshwater side that you need to be aware of, and take and harvest if you need to harvest, or remove your oysters so that it doesn't get affected by this by the pollution. And another one is, as I've indicated, is working together with all the role players in the catchment. So they are bringing everyone under one roof, so to ensure that we've got a holistic and integrated approach in our managing of this water resource. And then another one is introducing of these floating wetlands, which will also reduce the nutrients load in our water resource, because as you can see, the situation is very bad. Swartkop is quite polluted, the nutrients level is very high. At some point we also have an algae bloom next to the estuary. This is because of this nutrients that comes from the upper reaches and the middle reaches of the Swartkop. So we will be launching these floating wetlands across the Swartkops from the upper reaches until where the estuary starts at Perseverance, because we don't want to launch them in the estuary itself because of the tides. So they will be taken, they will be washed if we put them in the estuary itself. So this will be on the freshwater side, and then we'll ensure that the water that goes into the estuary meets at least the nutrient level has been reduced.
The reason that we are participating in this project is because siyayazi ubaleka kwe-mother nature ngoba incedana nempilo zethu, and okwesibini sifuna ukuphucuka, uyabona, kwenzele sizokwazi uzenza ezinye izinto ezizophucula i-community yethu ezifana kuba thina sizi-artist, asinazo ii-platforms apho singakwazi khona ukwenza izinto zethu. So siyibona le ndawo ecam kwe-Swartkop River into yoba ingaba yindawo entle apho singayenza ii-activities eziphuculayo for i-community yethu, whereby sibe nazo ne-awareness programs for i-community into yobana sibanike laa nto into yoba why should we take care of i-environment yethu nezinye izinto. Ezinye izinto, since uba kukho a-pollution eninzi emanzini, one of the things esizifumana emanzini ezilahlwayo phana zii-tires, it could be neebhotile, 2-litre bottles and nezinye izinto. But sibonile thina into yobana singakwazi uthatha ezi zinto zilahlwayo sisithi waste sizisebenzise in good use kwicommunity yethu. If you can look here, sine-tower yamatayara whereby sithatha old tires and then build a tower for abantwana badlale kuyo. We also have ideas whereby sithatha ezi 2 litres sifumanayo apha emanzini sizijike apho senza igadi zona, because into engenye esisafarisha kuyo elokishini yinto yokubana asinazi-space for igadi. So sithatha eza 2 litre siyenze igadi ngazo. It's more portable and easy kwelo hlobo. Apho siyacinga into yoba we should also have imithi around i-area yethu so that we can have oxygen nezinye izinto. Yeah, these are also the ideas that we have for le ndawo sihlala kuyo apho ke kungakhiwa kubekho isakhiwo, because the only way we can maintain le nto siyenzayo after the clean up, we should have structures in place apho sizawuthi le ndawo isetyenziselwa for into ethile kwenzele kungalahlwa again phayana. So lena yona is just a mini stage. Maybe if we can get funded, could build a mini stage phana for artists apho singaperformela khona senze ii-shows and events and nezinye izinto ezawuphuhlisa umphakathi wethu. This is also a garden, because we're thinking that sifuna uattracta ne-tourist while we're doing ezi zinto sizenzayo. So if we can have into significant kule ndawo siyenza kuyo loo nto leyo, kubekho abantu abazothi bazokujonga into ethile phana, bazobuka balene a lot about history yethu.